Well, g'day guys, it's the Outback Legend here, and today what I have for you all is a guide on how to sneak effectively in Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. I thought I'd put together a video on this as there are quite a few people I know who are having a bit of trouble with sneaking effectively in Metal Gear. So I thought it would be a good idea to maybe put together a video on it and hopefully be able to help you guys out as well. So first off, what we'll need is what kind of gear do we need? So what I've done here is I've gone back to the basic setup. Reason being was because I want this guide to be able to help out everybody, whether you've just bought the game and have just started playing it, or if you've been playing it since day one. That way then, this guide will be able to help out everybody. So one of the main things that you will need is a suppressor. That way then you can take out enemies and they won't be able to hear you. Only thing you've got to really be wary of with suppressors is, even though if you do use it, if you miss, you will still alert the enemy. They won't be alerted to you, but they will know that something's not right. So next up, what I use is a tranquilizer pistol. Reason why I use that is so you can tranquilize enemies, and then you can fulton them out, or you can even wake them up and interrogate them. So that's a really useful weapon. Later on in the game you do get a SMG which fires rubber bullets. Does the same thing, a lot more ammunition. You can also put a proper scope on it. So that is a far better way to go, but for this video I will be using the tranquilizer pistol. I also highly recommend taking a sniper rifle with you, because sniper rifles are probably one of the most useful weapons in the game. They become far more useful once you can use a suppressor or tranquilizer rounds. At the moment, being as I'm only using a basic setup, I've only got the first Russian sniper rifle, which isn't suppressed nor tranquilized, so I won't be using it, but in an emergency situation I would definitely recommend it. Later on in the game you do unlock quite a few different gadgets and other little things that you can take with you, which do make it a lot easier. So let's get started, and I will give you guys some tips and tricks on how to sneak. I hope you enjoy it. Right, so first thing you want to do is pull out your binoculars and spot up everybody you can see. It's by far the most effective way to be able to know where your enemies are, and also once you've leveled up your binoculars enough, you will be able to tell what rank enemies are, which then makes it easier to tell who you want to extract and who you want to leave there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sneaking up to where the first few enemies are I'm going to take out. I always go for where the least amount of enemies are first before I move in and slowly pick away at the rest of them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to move up to this wall first, because there's a guy that's pretty much just beyond it, and what I'm going to do here is use my bionic arm and I'm going to lure him. As you can see there, I've alerted him. He knows that something isn't right, so now he's going to come over and check it out. What I do now is, as soon as he gets within range, grab him, drag him over the wall and interrogate him. Interrogation is great. You can find out where your objective is, you can find out where enemies are, everything like that. Then I'm going to knock him out. You can kill him if you wanted to. I'm going to knock him out and I'm going to use the fulton and I'm going to extract him back to my mother base. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the next guy and I'm going to knock him out. You can shoot him, you can sedate him depending on what you want to do. Personally, I'm going to knock him out so I can interrogate him and gain a little bit more intel. Once I've done that, again I'm going to use the fulton extraction and I'm going to send him up to the base. So now I've extracted him, I'm going to head up and I'm going to go for the next guy. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use one of the magazines that you get. You get empty magazines that you can then throw, and the noise they make when they hit obviously attracts somebody over. So I'm going to make sure I've got my pistol ready. Always make sure that you have one of your weapons ready just in case they do spot you. It does happen sometimes, so you want to have a little bit of a plan just in case. So there we go, I've grabbed him. I'm going to interrogate him, find out all the information. It's always good to interrogate everybody because you also get heroism points, which is really good. And knocked him out. I'm going to use the fulton extraction on him, and away I go. So now I'm going to move over to the next group. This time there are quite a few enemies in the area, so you've really got to make sure that you plan how you're going to do it. You've really got to make sure that you've spotted everybody up, make sure that you plan strategically what you want to do and how you want to do it. Because as you can see there, they're all moving in groups of 2. So with this, you've then got to try and work out how you're going to take both of them out. And that's kind of when a suppressed weapon will really come in handy, because that way then you can quickly take out the 2 people you need to get rid of, and then you can move on to the next group. So here I'm just taking out these 2 guys. Always take out the guy who's walking behind first, and also watch out because when he does fall over, the guy in front will know. So make sure you take them both out quickly, and I've just fultoned them out. And then I'm going to move over to my next group. Also, one other thing I will say to be wary of is if you're in a heavily concentrated area, I wouldn't really recommend interrogating them, because if somebody's close by, they can hear you. And also the other thing that I don't particularly like to interrogate in an area full of enemies is simply the fact that somebody you might not have spotted could walk out and blow your cover. So now I'm going to take out these 2 guys, just trying to work out what I'm going to do here, how I'm going to do it. As you can see, I fired a shot, it hasn't worked, they've both been alerted, so I'm quickly taking him out, and then I've gone and just done the good old fashioned CQC knockout. So again, I've used the fulton. I'm just going to extract them out. Now unfortunately it has alerted somebody, so what I've got to do here is I've got to quickly take him out before he gets on the radio and alerts his command post, which then they will all go on alert. So I've taken them out, and now there's another 2 down there who I've got to get rid of. So pretty much use a suppressed weapon. I'm just using the pistol, so I can just sedate them all, and again I'm going to send them all back to the base. So some of you guys might be wondering, why am I using the fulton extraction device so much? Well, the reason why I'm using it is pretty much so I can add staff to my base, and then I can produce things quicker, and I'll also be able to unlock things quicker once certain parts of my base start to level up. So my combat unit or my medical team, you know, there's quite a few different units that you can use, and the more people you add to them, the higher the level they go, and the more things you can get. So what's happened here is I've been spotted, but it does give you a little bit of reaction time to take them out before they go into alert. Now his mate has actually spotted him falling over, doesn't know what's happened, so I've moved out. Again, it's gone into a reaction time, so I've gotten a little bit of time there to take him out again before they go into full alert. Now, unfortunately, what's happened here is they've managed to alert their CP, but that doesn't mean that they know where you are. All they know is that there is an enemy in the area, so they're not going to go and send reinforcements or anything like that, and also you haven't been spotted yet. The people who have seen you, you've taken them out before they've gone into alert. So if you're going for an S rank or something, you can actually still get it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now just going to move over and I'm going to take out the guy who's sitting here just beyond this wall. So again, use the bionic arm to lure him in. He's a little bit more cautious this time because they've been alerted. So he's now going to move along, he's going to try and come round, which then I'm going to come out and take him out. So again, do the interrogation. I've taken out most of the enemies that have been around that area, so it is safe to interrogate him. Once I've done that, then I shall move along and fulton him out. So now what you've got to do really is just move along and just clean them all up. So strategically just move your way down and take them all out. It's pretty straightforward, just use all of the techniques that I've shown here. It works, it gets the job done, and you know, there's no real difficulty to it once you've got the hang of it. So I've just knocked him out. There's quite a few guys in the area here. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to move him out of the way of the door so that he doesn't get spotted, because if they actually spot them, they can actually come and wake them up, and then of course then they'll go into an alert again, which is not all that good. So now I'm just going to get behind the door here. I'm just going to use the bionic arm. He's going to come walking through the door, and then I'm going to knock him out and I'm going to move on. Right, so now we've taken him out. Now I've just got to move along and I've got to take out the next few guys. There's only 3 of them left, so it's pretty straightforward. Knock him out. Now I do make a bit of a mistake here, so if you are going to fulton somebody out, make sure there's nobody close by, because they will see him. And unfortunately, because I ran out of my suppressor, I've actually been spotted. Now, normally with the reaction time, I would have enough time to be able to take them all out, but unfortunately here, that wasn't the case. But luckily, there was nobody left around who was in the base, so they couldn't then alert their command post and say they're under attack and send reinforcements. So that's pretty much all you need to do to sneak around effectively in Metal Gear Solid 5. It's really not difficult, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Once you get the hang of it, you won't have a problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I shall catch you guys later. Take it easy, everybody.